My name's Andrew Rodriguez, and I am the creative manager for the Rippaverse. I'm also the social media manager for the Rippaverse and Mr. Eric July. So I do a few things. As I said, I'm the creative manager, which I coordinate projects, whether it's videos, whether it's promotional material, such as artwork and things like that. I work very closely with our concept artists, with our graphic artists, with our video editor, all sorts of things, anything promotional material wise. I also, as a social media manager, handle all the posts that you guys see going out. So if it's directing you to a video, directing you to the website, that's your boy. And as far as my social media manager work for Eric, I've been doing that for several months, and well, you guys see his stuff all the time. I have been a part of Eric's community actually for several years now. I've been following him since 2017, 2018, something like that, as far as following the YouTube. And so I've been in and out of the chat. It wasn't super interactive initially, just kind of like watching his videos, watching his live stream. I like what this guy's got to say. He's got a lot of great points that I jive with for sure when it comes to the comic book industry and just superhero stuff in general, but also on all the other stuff that he talks about. So that was really cool to have that. When it came time for him to be relaunching his website or getting kind of close to that, he reached out to me and said, hey, we're going to be ramping up our work over here, and I could really use a guy that handles my social media for me. This was before we had launched the Rippaverse, so that got added on afterwards, but I've been doing that ever since, and it's been a great thing to do, and adding in the Rippaverse made it 10 times better, if not even more so, especially getting to do the creative manager work on top of that. So being able to work for somebody who gets it and wants to do something about it has been absolutely fantastic. To answer that question, I'm gonna have to be back in Flash. So the first comic book that I owned was actually The Flash Zero, which came after the 0 Hour Crisis in Time event at DC. It was called The Beginning of Tomorrow. I only have my trade paperback with me here. The individual floppy is in storage, but the cover was that beauty right there. Some gorgeous Mike Wieringo art. God bless that man, one of my all-time favorite Flash artists, without question. This is a phenomenal story. I can't say enough about it, despite the fact that Mark Waid wrote it. He did write kind of the definitive Wally West run on The Flash. It can't really be disputed. Jeff Johns did a pretty great one as well. But that arc is what introduced the Speed Force. If you know anything about The Flash, kind of an important concept. So if you haven't figured it out by now, my favorite character in all of comic books is the Flash, very specifically Wally West, the third Flash and the first Kid Flash. Absolutely love the character. These are just some of my traits that I've got here with me on my desk, but I have quite a bit more on my bookshelf. He stands the test of time for me for a number of reasons, some of which are sentimental. As a kid, I was never one of the biggest, right? I'm still kind of not, to be quite frank, but I was always the fastest. And so when I got introduced to the Flash, his main thing is speed, his main thing is running. Well, that's kind of my main thing too. So right there, that was something to easily connect with. Short surface level, sure. But once I dug deeper, there was a lot more to it. Wally West is the everyman. A lot of people will compare him to Peter Parker from Marvel, Spider-Man. They'll say he's kind of DC's Peter Parker, and that's not entirely unfounded. He's incredibly relatable, he's a family man, and he loves what he does. He absolutely loves what he does, and there's something important to be said about that. He's not a guy where he had a huge tragedy, right? His parents murdered in front of him. No. His planet didn't explode. No. He's not a demigod. He was just a fan who got to live every fan's dream and become his idol. His idol was the Flash, and he wound up becoming the Flash, in a rare instance of lightning striking twice. Well, The easy answer is the Rippaverse, ISON. But in all seriousness, and I am serious about that, I think The Flash doesn't get enough respect. And to be fair, The Flash hasn't had that many great adaptations and representations in media outside of the comic books. So I would highly encourage people to read up on The Flash, not his live action adaptations. No, read the comics. That's where it's at. The old ones. Don't give DC your money. Well, I read a lot of comics. I don't read a lot of new comics anymore. A number of reasons for that. But I do a lot of gaming. I love gaming, all sorts of games. Open world action adventure, JRPG. Used to play a lot more fighters. I haven't recently. And I love reading. Absolutely love reading. I've been going through the Harry Potter books for the first time. I always loved the movies, but I'm just now going through the books and having an absolute blast with them. Proud Slytherin, right here. Wanda's Elderwood, Patronus the Dragon. Yeah, be jealous. No. No, that's illegal. We don't do that here. As for me and my house, we will serve pizza without pineapple on it.